Okay, so just to confirm, you can see my screen, my
Yes.
presentation. Okay, perfect. So, as you already are very well familiar with, we had before SA1, we had Triad One product, which was not just the single zone amplifier, but also the media player for a single zone of audio streaming. SA1 is in fact completely the same product like Triad One is, just with some additional improvements, additional features, and more flexibility in the installation comparing to the Triad One. To point out immediately at the beginning, the same way how Triad One was completely dependent on the Control 4, which means it is not standalone device. It has to have director in the project in order to be used at all. The same way SA1 is also dependent on the director, which means SA1 is not a standalone product, so it has to be part of some Control 4 project. So quick overview of the new SA1 is, in fact, first of all, as you know, we have one new name for all digital streaming services across our controller, which is Ryff. So this completely the same digital streaming service, Ryff, is supported on this amplifier as well. Same way how Triad One was the best solution for the single zone projects, the same way SA1 can be implemented. And what is new on the SA1 is that it has also HDMI output used for audio return channel ARC. Regarding the formats, of course, SA1 like Triad One is the single zone. That means it has the stereo output for the audio, but it is able to downmix to decode more advanced audio formats coming on its input like Dolby Atmos and DTS, so it is able to reproduce it as a stereo audio as well. Uh, as any other audio matrix, the Triad, SA1 streaming amplifier has all DSP control settings built in, so you can fine tune the frequency response, to add specific gain or attenuate certain frequencies depending on the acoustic of the room where it is placed. And the most obvious advantage comparing to Triad One is that it doubled the power comparing to the previous generation amplifier. That means it has 200 watts per each channel supported now, which is doubled comparing to the Triad One. Regarding the audio resolution, it supports high resolution audio up to 192 kilohertz on 24 audio depth. It is fully integrated with Control 4, but it is, of course, the mandatory condition because it cannot be standalone device. So it works only through the Control 4 driver. It doesn't have its own web interface and independent management from the Control 4. So all settings, what you do from the driver added to the Control 4. And it is fully integrated part of the Ryff digital streaming service because the same digital streaming service which we have built in on the core and EA controllers on the latest OS, completely the same Ryff is built in on the SA1. So we can say that from the Ryff perspective, from the digital streaming service perspective, there is no any difference between controller or SA1. And what is really important enhancement comparing to the Triad One, SA1 is now part also of MoIP ecosystem, which means SA1 using, of course, MoIP controller in the project can be used as a virtual MoIP transmitter. That means you are not able to stream audio from the external audio input on the SA1 just in the local zone where speakers are connected, but through the MoIP you can send that audio signal across all MoIP receivers, for example, MoIP amplifiers across the project in different rooms. So let's take a look to the hardware. As you can see, SA1 looks quite similar to Triad One. But there are some hardware buttons which are new comparing to the Triad one. First of all, it is a volume knob button where you can move it left or right and change the volume of the audio coming from it. And also this volume button has additional function, which means it recognizes when it is pressed. So you can use it for the volume up, down, or you can press it. And in Control 4, you can program what the press of the knob button is doing in the project. Beside that, there is play pause button for stopping the audio or resuming the audio, and also this button can be programmed that press of this button can trigger some other actions in the project. So that is on the front side, which is relatively new, having in mind those buttons which we didn't have on the Triad One. And on the rear side, we have more or less same connections like we had on the Triad One. So first of all, we have speaker output for the stereo zone. That means two pairs of wires for left and right channel on the speakers, each speaker having the wire pair. Beside that, this purple is the subwoofer output, line level subwoofer output, where you connect your active subwoofer, and that way you can create 2.1 audio zone. So maximum audio format which SA1 can support is 2.1. That means stereo channel, pair of stereo channels, pair of stereo speakers, and subwoofer added to it. And beside that, you have also line level output available where you can connect, for example, the output of the SA1 to some maybe audio matrix and further to the amplifier to distribute further audio signal from the SA1 itself. Beside the outputs, you have two audio inputs available, which means SA1 is not just providing Ryff streaming audio. That means audio which is initiated on SA1 itself, but you can also connect external audio sources. You can connect it over analog, stereo analog input RCA connectors, or over digital input, which can be either digital coax or audio optical input. Just have in mind that those two digital inputs are one digital input, so you can choose one or the another. You don't have two digital inputs, only one, just the connector. You can choose which one you prefer to connect to. Beside that, like the Triad One, SA1 also can be connected to the local area network using the Wi-Fi, and you can connect Wi-Fi antenna there. Of course, we never recommend that your Wi-Fi connection would be your first choice, because Wi-Fi is of course more susceptible to any latency, connection drops, etc. Wired networking cable is always the first choice if we are connecting the SA1. But in some cases, if you don't have any other choice, if there is no option to pull the wires, your uh, your only choice in that case would be to connect over Wi-Fi. And in that case, Wi-Fi is also supported to use it that way to connect it to local area network. Beside the Ethernet connection, you also have USB input for eSATA drive. And what is new on the SA1, which what we didn't have on the Triad one, is HDMI audio return channel. It supports both ARC and enhanced ARC input, which is configurable on the driver, but by default, it will always try to process eARC audio bandwidth, and if it is not supported by audio source, it will automatically switch to standard ARC. Regarding the HDMI input, in fact, this HDMI is intended to be used with connection with TV, for example. And beside audio, which you receive from the TV, the SA1 can also send video, that means like image, to the TV itself. But just remember the video which you can see, the picture which you can see on the TV from SA1, that is not navigator. It's not OSD like you have from the controller. It is just the basic metadata information about audio which is currently playing on your SA1. So it's quite limited information you can see from the HDMI. Beside that, also you have IR infrared outputs if required to pass the IR signal, and standard buttons for identification and factory reset. So as you can see, the connections are quite typical, supported on Triad One itself, but with additional option to have HDMI audio return on SA1 as well. So uh, regarding the audio formats and connection, as I mentioned, typically HDMI is used for audio return from the TV, and that way you can support enhanced and the standard ARC audio bandwidth, and it supports down mixing for Dolby Atmos and DTS decoding, all down mixed to the standard stereo audio output. What you can see on the screen from the SA1 is metadata and cover art from SA1, not navigator, just to clarify that. So regarding the audio formats, uh, the all advanced audio formats like Dolby Atmos and DTX are automatically decoded, and also the SA1 is limited just to the standard stereo audio reproduction, which means it doesn't support any advanced audio formats like virtual Atmos or virtual X playback features. So it is just a standard 2.1 audio format available on the output. So as I mentioned at the beginning, the SA1 has built-in digital streaming service, or Ryff, the same digital streaming service supported on all controllers on the latest OS, and it has built-in all streaming platforms which you have available on controller itself. So that includes Pandora, Spotify Connect, Tidal, etc. So there is no difference in that part. And also the same audio resolution supported from the controller is supported on SA1, which is up to 192 kilohertz on 24-bit audio depth. When we speak about Ryff-enabled devices, the SA1 has that good built-in feature that if you play multiple audio sources in terms like you have activated multiple controllers as audio sources and SA1 to play the same audio in different rooms, they are automatically getting in sync in order to prevent any uh, any difference in the audio listened in the different rooms. So system is capable to recognize that different rooms are playing the same audio from different audio sources and sync them to work as one. So we don't have in this case like audio matrix, which is distributing single audio source on multiple outputs. We have different audio sources, but they are synced between themselves and acting as a single audio source. And just to mention, like the Triad One, SA1 is not a standalone device. So in order to use SA1, you have to have your Contro 4 project installed in, and the SA1 is managed from the director through the driver. So what is completely new when we are speaking about SA1 is that it is now part of the MoIP ecosystem. So anything what you stream from the SA1 can act as a virtual MoIP transmitter. So if you have, of course, MoIP controller and MoIP receivers in your project, you can distribute your streaming from the SA1 to any zone with MoIP receiver in the house. So that way you have quite flexible solution that audio available from SA1 is not available just in the zone where SA1 is located, but also through the standard network. It can be distributed across different zones, across different rooms in the project, as long as those rooms have audio MoIP audio receiver enabled. When I say MoIP audio receiver, it can be a binary audio receiver like a standard audio receiver, or it can be some device with built-in audio receiver like MoIP amplifier is. Regarding the MoIP configuration, um, it is fully available from OvrC. If you remember, we moved completely anything related to the MoIP setup from the web interface of MoIP controller to the OvrC. So in OvrC, you have only available management interface for controlling how MoIP is working, and that includes MoIP transmitter from SA1 itself. So I can show you just quickly how it looks like on OvrC. So this is my project, and I go to the site settings. And in the site settings, I have part for managing the MoIP. When I go to manage MoIP, in this case, it is listing just the binary MoIP transmitters and receivers. Here, it doesn't include any virtual transmitters and receivers, just the hardware. But when I go to manage, I have listed all automatically discovered receivers and all automatically discovered transmitters. As you can see, I have a lot of virtual transmitters here, like 4 virtual transmitters from core 3, and also here I have discovered the virtual transmitter from SA1. So you can say that SA1 is also like a single zone MoIP transmitter included into the MoIP ecosystem. And using this virtual transmitter, I can pair it with any available audio receiver in the system. So it is quite straightforward. Okay, so regarding the fine tuning of the audio output, of the audio response, frequency response, it has all the a standard set of functionalities like any audio matrix has. If you remember training on the MoIP amplifier, the same set of features is available here as well. So we have 6-band parametric full band equalizer for the standard frequencies and 3-band parametric subwoofer equalizer, which means you can fully customize your frequency response from this amplifier. And also beside that, you have available presets depending on the speaker types connected. So we have full list of Triad and episode speakers there. So you can just select one of the speakers and the amplifier will automatically set up audio response, frequency response, which would fit the best the speaker you have connected. Beside that, you have also presets for the type of the music you listen. So if it is classic rock, jazz, or whatever, based on that, you can adjust your frequency response as well. Also, you have options to set the crossover, high-low traffic filtering. Then, based on the input, you can define gain and delay of the audio. And also, very similar to MoIP amplifier, you have option to generate a test tone just to verify that all the wiring is done correctly. So if you hear the test tone, you are sure that speakers are properly connected and functional. Beside that, there is something specific for SA1, and that is direct and streaming mode supported. So it is similar what we had on the Triad One, depending on the type of audio it is sending. Is it sending audio from the external audio source connected to Triad One, or it is streaming itself the music? You can on the Triad One you could select is it direct or stream mode. So similarly, we have direct and stream mode on SA1 as well. And additionally, we have auto mode. By default, it will be on auto mode. And SA1 has that internal intelligence to automatically recognizes what mode is the best based on the type of audio it is playing. Is it external audio or it is audio coming from the digital streaming services built in the SA1? But in case that you would like to have like full control of the mode on SA1, you can select one or the other mode. So first of all, stream mode of the SA1 is used if you would like to stream music on the SA1 from Ryff, from its built-in media streaming platform. And in that case, this mode will ensure that if you have the same stream playing from different riffs, from different controllers, for example, they will all be completely in synchronization. That is something what I mentioned before. That is what streaming mode does. That if you are playing in multiple rooms, same audio track, and you are using different sources, different controllers, and SA1 to play it, they will all automatically get in sync and act as a single audio zone. The downside of this mode is that it is quite slow to respond on your commands. So you can have delay when you press play or stop. You can have delay about 1 second. But it provides that all Reef platforms playing the same track will be completely in sync. So it is negotiating through the network the status of different Reef streaming services and getting in sync if needed. At the other hand, we have so-called direct plus stream mode. It is used typically with external audio source. And the typical example would be if you are using audio return from the TV. So you need to be sure that your video and video's audio coming from SA1 are completely in sync. So this zone practically is not intended to be in synchronization with other zones using Ryff. So there can be a slight delay between them. If you use this zone, if you use this mode with different, for example, controllers using Ryff playing the same audio, they shouldn't be in the same listening area because there can be some difference between them. This zone is mainly used for videos audio where you would like to assure that there is no any lip sync delay between the lip sync issues between the TV video and the video's audio coming from the TV. Because of that, when you have watch selected, if your video's audio endpoint in the room is SA1, your SA1 will automatically switch to the direct stream mode. So watch will trigger this mode automatically. And as I mentioned at the beginning, the last option is auto mode. And that is practically the mode which most commonly your SA1 would be, and it will automatically, based on the type of audio played on the SA1, it will select stream or direct. But in any case, you have that choice to manually select one of the modes if you would like to. Okay, regarding the mounting and rack install, we have the SA1 bracket, which is like 3U wide, and it can have up to 2 SA1s. So on 3U space in the rack, you can have a pair of SA1s placed into the rack on one shelf. Regarding the OvrC, as I showed you regarding the MoIP, MoIP virtual transmitter from SA1 is automatically discovered and listed in the list of available transmitters on the MoIP management page. And as SA1 is in question, it is fully integrated and has the standard set of features supported on any other device on OvrC, which means you can check the firmware updates, check the IP settings, and of course, you can track the notification if SA1 is online, offline through the OvrC. So nothing specific about SA1 comparing to other OvrC compatible devices. So regarding some typical setup and typical use cases, um, this is the most commonly used scenario for SA1, where we use SA1 for videos, audio in the, for example, living room, and it supports 2.1 system. So as you can see here, we use HDMI ARC, audio return channel, for the audio from the TV. That is the purple connection. Audio, it is like external audio for this SA1. And for the audio output, we use a pair of speakers, left and right channel speakers, the orange connection, and the blue connection is active subwoofer connected to the line level subwoofer output. Beside this, you can also extend your audio sources on the SA1, so you can connect audio return from the TV. You can connect some external audio sources like turntable in this case and use like analog audio input. When audio output is in question, you still have left and right channel speaker and the subwoofer. So when we speak about SA1, as I mentioned previously, it is not just part of Ryff ecosystem. It is also bringing new feature like virtual MoIP transmitter. So it is quite important to understand what is difference between Ryff media distribution and the MoIP audio distribution. So when we speak about Ryff, in Ryff, we do not use single audio source to distribute across different audio endpoints. In this case, each audio zone has its own audio source, but what Ryff does, it gets all those audio sources in sync to act as a single audio source. So we have, for example, in this room, we have one core controller. In this room, we have other core controller. And in living room, we have SA1. They are all playing, for example, same audio track. And we have three audio sources active, but as they are recognized through the Ryff, that they should act as single audio zone, they get in sync automatically and act like a single audio source. But we have three audio sources in this case. So that is what Ryff does, that like standardized digital streaming platform between controllers and SA1. And of course, all those synchronization between different audio sources goes through the standard network because both controllers and SA1, they are all connected to the IP local area network. So that is example of the Ryff streaming multi-room audio. How MoIP distribution in multi-room audio works. So if you see here on this picture, the first difference, what you notice between the Ryff sync and MoIP distribution is that in bedroom 1 and 2, you don't have core controller, you don't have audio source, you have MoIP receiver. That can be like MoIP amplifier. So in this case, when we are speaking about MoIP distribution, we don't have multiple source of audio. We still have here just one SA1, but through the MoIP, which is again through the IP network, we distribute this single audio stream to different rooms. So using MoIP, we can send audio track from the SA1, not just to locally directly connected speakers, but to all MoIP receivers around the house. And that way, we don't need, in fact, to worry about synchronization because we are not using multiple audio sources. We are using single source, which is just distributed like through audio matrix, but in this case, through the network to multiple audio endpoints.
Alex?
So, yes,
Does this include also the eARC audio and the local input, or
yes.
only the streaming?
So you can whatever what is coming as audio input on the MoIP on the sorry on the SA1 you can further forward through the MoIP because it is like virtual transmitter in fact.
Okay.
Yeah, you can look it like you have a binary audio transmitter on this side.
Yeah.
So what is important to remember is that uh, when we speak about MoIP, if we would like to enable MoIP distribution at all through the local area network, we have to have MoIP controller. MoIP cannot work without MoIP controller, so we need that one additional piece of hardware connected into the local network. Okay, so that is the basic difference
Alec,
between MoIP
but
and
just
Ryff. Yes, yes.
one thing about this solution.
Mhm.
So even if we are using the video, the HDMI as input, in order to synchronize the audio between all the MoIPs, probably it will always have a delay between the image that is playing on the room where the SA1 is and the audio itself, right?
Yeah, so that is not advisable as I mentioned. So that is something on the SA1 you would use like direct +3 mode
Yeah,
just to be sure that video and direct output is in sync.
yeah,
But anything distributed further, we simply cannot get by the nature of the transmission. We cannot get in sync. And if you have more audio zones connected to the same, in that case, it is advised that they are not in the same listening area, so you cannot notice difference. Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
And one additional example regarding the SA1. First of all, to point out that SA1 is a single zone amplifier, so it does have speaker level output with speaker outputs, and it has line level output with RCA, but they are the same zone. You don't have two zones from SA1. It is always a single zone, but you can use both at the same time. Just what is important to know is that RCA output and speaker output, they are not in sync. So if you would like to use both outputs from SA1, just be sure they are not in the listening area one of each other, so you cannot hear the difference. So the typical example of using both speaker output and line level output would be if you would like to use speakers inside and some outdoor speakers in the garden. You can connect both to the single SA1. Just in this case, when we speak about RCA output, it is a line level audio output, so you would need additional amplifier where you connect your speakers, and they should be away from listening area from the living room, for example. So you can have both outputs at the same time, just they should be separated, and the line level output would require additional amplifier to have power for the connected speakers. Okay, and for the end, just like a short overview, differences between SA1 and the Triad One. So first of all, the power per channel is doubled on the SA1 comparing to Triad One. You have 200 watts. Then quality of audio is like 50 times better comparing to Triad One. So total harmonic distortion is just 0.002% comparing to 0.1% on Triad One. Signal to noise ratio is also better, 117 dB comparing to 105. And when connections are in question, we have a new HDMI, ARC, and EARC connect supported on SA1. While Triad One could support only PSM, like a stereo channel, the SA1 is able to do decoding of more advanced Dolby Atmos and DTX audio. What is completely new is that you have a MoIP transmitter built in, which was not the case with Triad One. You have not just the Triad speaker presets available on the DSP, but also the episode speakers available there. You have two new hardware buttons like play pause button and the volume button. The housing is not plastic, it is steel now. And when modes are in question, you have that new auto mode, which I mentioned, it is suggested to use all the time. So SA1 automatically decides is stream or direct mode better, depending to audio selected from the SA1 itself. So just to show you how it looks like in Composer. So as SA1 is completely dependent product, it is not standalone. It doesn't have its own user management. So you configure SA1 completely through the driver for SA1. It is quite straightforward. On the main page, you see the main information about it. You can disable, enable the LEDs, and you can no button press. You can define to mute or toggle the audio and to completely switch off the room when pressed. But also regarding the button press, you have additional options to configure. If you go to programming, you can see here you can identify identify button press, volume knob pressed, play pause button pressed, and link it to any action, whatever action supported in the Control 4. So you have full flexibility what button press on SA1 can do in the Control 4 system. So beside this main page, you can configure each individual input, analog or digital. You can define the gain, delay, select the mode. Typically, it is auto. And when HDMI is in question, you can by default select enhanced ARC as preferred, but you can just fix it to ARC only if required, or you can disable it completely. Also, you can define for the HDMI input gain and delay. When output setting is in question, and when I say output, in this case, I mean on video output. If you remember, SA1 can provide metadata for the audio track playing at the moment. So this audio output provides you possibility to select video resolution, and also to select is EDID negotiated every time when it establishes the connection, or it is negotiated only once and after that it is captured and not negotiated. Typically, EDIT would be with this option enabled, because in most of the cases we have fixed connection between the TV and SA1. That means HDMI is going directly from the TV to SA1. If we have multiple choices for TV, like SA1 is connected to some video matrix, we would have this capture edit option disabled. But in most of the cases, when TV is directly connected to SA1, we do not need to do negotiations every time, because it is always the same TV connected to SA1, so we can capture edit. Regarding the output, you can, of course, here test the volume output, and here you can set the maximum volume for the end customer. So if I put it on 50%, end customer, when changing the volume for the zone where SA1 is the endpoint, will never be able to put volume above the 50%. So you can limit maximum volume on the composer level. And here is just the test signal where you can check the speaker wiring. At the end, you have the standard option mono sum if you would like not to use stereo channel, but to have the same audio like mono played from the both speakers connected to the to the SA1. Regarding the DSP settings, it is like a standard frequency response setup. We have low and high pass filter. We have frequency response for the subwoofer output for low frequencies. We have frequency response setup, manual setup for the mid and high frequencies as well. And also you can select one of the predefined presets, and here you can select what speaker type is connected to the output, and that way to adjust the settings on the SA1 to fit the best the speaker connected to it. When we speak about, sorry, yes.
One question
Mhm.
about the crossover. Is it
Yes.
like a real crossover or is it a software crossover?
I'm not sure about that on SA1. I can double check. Is it real or
Okay,
just software?
thank you.
I
Because
believe it is just the software, but I will double check.
okay, thank you.
No worries. And yeah, regarding the customization of the sound equalizer, when you do some custom setup, you can save it, for example, as, I don't know, custom 2, put the name like test 2 or whatever, save it at custom 2, and you do not need to do the settings all the time from the beginning. You can just remember it, and at the end you have option to import or export specific frequency response setup. So if you are using the same setup on different projects, you can just easily import it. You do not need manually to set it up from the beginning. Okay, so as you can see, it is quite straightforward. As I mentioned, all configuration is done through the driver. There is no direct management on the SA1 because it is not standalone device. And of course, it is supported, fully integrated with OvrC. So through the OvrC, you can check the MoIP part, and also you can check the IP settings and status of the SA1 on the local network. Okay, so that is all what I prepared regarding the SA1. Do you have any questions so far for me?
No, clear for me.
Yeah. Okay, so in fact, I can say it is like 75% the same device like Triad One. So if you are familiar with Triad One, everything what stands for Triad One stands for SA1. Just there are some more enhancement like HDMI, MoIP transmitter, etc., which are added to on SA1 amplifier.
Yeah. But great presentation. These last slides are quite visual. That helps a lot people to understand the system. Yeah, so very good. Thank you so much for the presentations.
No worries.
Um,
I will send you in any
and
case the PDF of the presentation, so you will have it available. If you would like
cool.
the PowerPoint, I can send it as well.
It's better the PowerPoint because we
Okay.
want to use the image to extract in high definition to put
No problem. No
great
problem.
small
I will
cases.
send you in that case a PowerPoint so you can use it for your own demonstration. Just to
Sweet.
double check, you have, I suppose you have SA1 in your office already, in your lab.
Yeah,
So
a
okay.
few.
Yes.
So you can test it additionally and play with it.
Yeah.
If you need any additional assistance, just you can ask
I
me.
just need to replace my Triad One in my kitchen for one of those. So let me check.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So it is like a straightforward replacement because the way of management of SA1 is completely the same how the Triad One is managed. So
Yeah.
there shouldn't be any difference in the setup.
The only thing that I will add to your presentation, I don't know, sorry to arrive a little bit late, but I was in another meeting. But there is something that people don't understand about Ryff, that is the following. I see some people putting play, tune in radio in one room, and then they go to another room and they do again play, tune in the same station on that room instead of going to the house to add the zone. And then they complain that the Ryff doesn't work. So I think it will be important to explain that Ryff works when you go to the house and you add zones.
When you add
to
to the existing. Yeah. So the system is not aware it is the same audio track if it is not added like additional zone to existing track. So it is not doing distribution like audio matrix. It is activating additional audio source, but it knows it has to be like replicated initial audio zone set. Yeah. Okay. Good point.
So it will be important to have that because even with our own salespeople, I saw that there are people say, "Yeah, Ryff doesn't work. It cannot work. It works really well." Also give the example in my house that I have a Core 3 connected to a receiver. I have a Triad One in the kitchen, And even so, they are fully synchronized. It's amazing how Ryff works well. So I think it's important.
Yeah,
that part.
it is practically the same platform. So there is no, when you speak about Ryff, there is no difference on Ryff on controller and on Ryff on SA1. So it's completely
Yeah.
the same platform. So that's the reason why it works so seamlessly.
Yeah. Cool. So that's the only add-on that I will
Okay,
add
thank
to
you
this.
very much.
Okay. Thank you for your presentation and time.
Okay, any
Yes.
additional question? Yeah.
No, for me. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you on your attendance today. And yeah, of course, if you find any additional product or setup installation important to cover over this technical training, just send some suggestion to me and we can organize something in the future as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay,
Yep.
Thank
only
you.
have-
Thank you,
Thank
Alec.
I only have a general
Bye-bye.
question,
Sorry, yes.
Alexander.
Yes, yes.
But it's not about the SA1 specifically.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
It's about the Tidal Connect, for example.
All right.
Because Tidal is fully integrated into
Yes.
into
Okay.
the touchscreen, let's say, into Control 4.
Mhm.
And Spotify is through Spotify Connect.
Connect. Yes. Okay.
Is there a way we can, or from Control 4, that this can be implemented in a way, the Tidal Connect?
You mean for Spotify?
You mean Spotify
Tidal,
Connect?
no, so Spotify Connect is already there, but for
Aha.
Tidal, for example,
You would like to
the
use,
app,
you would
exactly.
like to replicate Tidal from your phone to the Control 4, something like that.
Yeah.
Understood you well.
I'm just asking if that's something that's possible.
Well, not, because the main point is that you natively stream Tidal from the Control 4. Why would you do it from phone when it is already there?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
People
So
compare
I
the
doubt-
other way around. What
Yeah,
people
yeah,
complain is that we don't
definitely.
have native Spotify on the Control 4, not the other way around.
Yeah, so I doubt that that is something what it is. It would be like backward step to
Yeah.
to implementation of the Tidal. But yeah, if you can if you can discuss with that customer what is the specific reason why he would prefer to play it from the phone, not natively from Control 4.
Well, this was just a personal question. Because I'm used to Tidal and I prefer to stream it from my phone or my computer into Control 4.
Well, you can always open Control 4 app and play Tidal that way.
Yeah.
So.
Or you use AirPlay.
Yeah, or AirPlay, or the.
Yeah, I don't have Apple.
Good.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect.
No worries. Have a nice day ahead and hope to see you soon.
Have a nice day.
Yeah.
You too.
Thank you, Alex.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye.